Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today is Monday, August 7th. We're going to start off a little bit differently today because I'm not at home. We're just going to jump into what the news is. First of all, we have got flooding in Juneau, and I'm really interested to hear because I think it can have the ability to maybe impact some of the excursions around the Mendenhall Glacier there in Juneau. So those of you who will be in Alaska this week, let us know what happens. Apparently, they think that a glacial dam burst, which is when the ice gets a little thin in a certain location, some ice and some water has built up behind it, and then the water comes down. So if you are familiar with the Mendenhall Glacier, or you're looking at a map there is the Mendenhall Lake right there at the base of the glacier, and then it flows down into the Mendenhall River. The Mendenhall Lake ended up being 15 feet above where it normally is, which beats out the 2016 record by an extra 3 feet. So in 2016, it was up 12 feet. And apparently some trees were being swept down the Mendenhall River. So this is a really big deal there. So like I said, let us know what happens there in Juneau, and I will be keeping my eye on the news as well. Hopefully everyone will still be able to visit everywhere. As I think of where the visitor center is located, as well as some of the trails right there by the Mendenhall Glacier, hopefully it will not be affected, but when we were just there at the end of May, we were able to walk right down to the edge of the lake there. So if it is up some, hopefully, surely I don't believe would be high enough to impact the visitor center there. So at least you'll be able to go see. And from that visitor center there are really nice views. And then when you take the hike up to Nugget Falls and in that area there, it is absolutely beautiful. So don't worry, you'll still be able to enjoy Juneau, but that is a really big deal. So wanted to bring that to you today. The next thing that I think is really important that you know about is the port guides. So I've had a lot of questions about the port guides as they appear on the Princess app right now. Until this latest update, the port guides you couldn't see them when you were not on the ship, only when you were on the ship. And so that has changed, and you can view the port guides now for the cruises that you are on. As you go ahead and look at those port guides, I know that some people are happy to take a screenshot with their phone so they can refer to it when they are off the ship or when they are at home and they want to do their planning. Some people like to print them out, and Princess used to print them out for everyone. Every time you were going to be in a port for a day, that port guide would appear along with your Princess Patter, which some of the ships are now calling the schedule of events, or the event listing, something like that. But anyway, you can go ahead before you go, since they're available now. And what I like to do with things that are available like that, but I can't really access any other way, I often will take a screenshot of something, then I email it to myself. So then it's in my email, so that's handy as well. And then if I really want it, I can print it out. And you can also adjust the size of things usually when you print them out to make them a little bit bigger. So there are some handy tips, but I love that you can see those port guides now because they will list the top things to see in the port, as well as there's always a map of the port area that shows you where the cruise ship will be docked relative to everything else, so that you have an idea of maybe how far you'll have to walk to see certain things. And so they are really, really helpful. And so if some of you have any other suggestions on what you do with the port guides, would you please go ahead and put that in the comments and let us know what you do with them, how you access them, all of that thing, because that will really help us all out as we plan where we're going to go when we are in a port with a cruise. Another thing that I wanted to let you know about, I've been getting questions about how to get more onboard credit. I've done videos. Make sure that you're aware of the military benefit if you're active duty military or if you're a veteran. That onboard credit that you get from being a Carnival Cruise Line CCL is their stock symbol there, the letters for that. And if you own 100 shares, you get $100 of onboard credit. And then the other way to get it is if you are, if you refer a friend, and then please be aware that Princess has a credit card available. And every time you spend money on it, you accrue points, and you can trade that in for onboard credit. The really nice thing right now is if you go to princess.com on their main page and scroll down a little bit, they have these three little boxes there with different things in them. One of them is for the Princess credit card, and if you apply and are approved for that credit card, Once you get it, if you spend $500 in the first 3 months, then you will be awarded 20,000 points, which is enough to trade in for $200 of onboard credit the next time you go on a cruise. And then every time you buy something, you get points for the dollars that you spend. And when you make purchases like a Princess Cruise or pay your onboard account, whatever Princess purchases you make, you get twice as many points for that. So that's a really good approach to take if you're going to spend the money anyway. And even just going to the grocery store, it doesn't take very long to spend $500 anymore. So thought I would make you all aware of that as well. The other thing I wanted to let you know is, and this is like a point of discussion, and I always hate to report when there's been a lot of COVID on a cruise ship, but I also think it's my job to bring you the news, and we need to talk about it so we know what to expect. We've got a Let's Go family member. She and her sister went out of San Francisco on the Ruby Princess, just barely got back. She said the first 5 days were fantastic. They had the very best time. She said the food was good, the entertainment was good, the spa, the line dance classes, everything. They were just having a fabulous time. And then her sister got COVID and they weren't sure what she had, so they went down to the medical center and they ended up testing her there and found out she had COVID. So her sister had to stay in the cabin, but since this lady was negative, she was able to leave the cabin, go get food for her, take care of everything. To make a long story short, by the end of the cruise, she tested positive for COVID as well. She did say that when they went to the medical center that they did comment that a lot of people had come in and were positive for COVID, and that a lot of people were coughing without covering their mouth on the ship. Now, I know that we come from a lot of different cultures when we're on a cruise ship, and I know that people think about things differently, but I am just putting it out there that it's appropriate to always be considerate and respectful of the people that you are cruising with. And I really do think that covering your mouth when you cough is one of those ways. And it's just going to be this age-old thing with COVID, isn't it? It's not going to go away, and we're just going to have to learn how to manage it the best we can. So maybe in the comments you can say what you do, how to manage it the best, how things have been going. But I know it's a risk. I know it's a risk when you go on a cruise ship. It's a risk when you get on an airplane. When I was on a flight here on my way to Boston, there were a lot of people coughing. And I know that some people cough even if they're not sick. Some people cough when they are sick. It's just this whole situation, this world that we live in right now. So just let me know how you're navigating it. I'd really like to hear from you on that. And let me know if you've got that Princess credit card. We had it actually a long time ago. And then I guess I didn't really use it that much because we canceled it. I got the Celebrity credit card not too long ago, and with Celebrity you also do it the same thing. You sign up and you have to spend a certain amount of money. I believe it's $3,000. No, it couldn't be $3,000. Maybe it's, you know what, I'll check and let you know. So I really appreciate you all being here with me. Let me know what other ways you guys get onboard credit. Let me know what other cruise line credit cards you've got, what works really good for you. I really appreciate you all being here with me. And if you would please subscribe, I meant to put that at the front. Please do subscribe to our videos. We need to have you and would love to have you with us. And if you appreciate these updates, please give this video a thumbs up, and I will be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.